court of love, basking in the light of the benevolent solar deity, whose hands literally caress the bodies of the royal family, is the world's first individual. He is a ruler of such moral strength as to dare to challenge the conventions of an already ancient civilization, and a man of profound learning and flights of spiritual ecstasy who composes beautiful poetry in honor of his god. A ruler of ravenous sexual appetites and a tyrannical disposition becomes ruler of Egypt. Never as intelligent or as accomplished as his siblings, the king has been warped by the neglect of his father and the domineering personality of his mother. As pharaoh, he closes the temples of Egypt, the very lifeblood of a country whose economy depends on the fields, flocks, and workshops associated with the massive complexes. Following the luxurious reign of his father, and with an obsessive focus on his own divinity, the new ruler plunges Egypt into nearly 2 decades of darkness and tumult. The officials in his bureaucracy are loyal to him alone. In their abject groveling, they manipulate the misshapen heretic who controls Egypt with an iron fist. The king and his court revel in the delights of the flesh, gorging themselves on daily banquets, reclining languidly in painted chambers, their sense of time all but erased by the unending cycle of slothful indulgence. The incestuous desire of the king begets 2 daughters who are simultaneously his granddaughters. One daughter-wife dies in childbirth, herself barely beyond childhood, brought low by her father's twisted impulses. The population of Egypt, outside of the small group of obsequious courtiers, have never witnessed a time so full of misery. Histories of ancient Egypt often begin with the establishment of a single government over the Nile Valley and end 3 millennia later with Roman subjugation. Between King Narmer's unification of Upper and Lower Egypt around 3100 BCE and the death of Cleopatra VII in 30 BCE, not all who ruled in the valley of the Nile were pious monarchs, nor did all give full rein to personal whim and desire. The 2 sketches of rule appearing above could well illuminate the extreme points to which the pendulum of Egyptian kingship might have swung. Among the portraits of Egypt's rulers and the great gallery of 3,000 years of history, most would probably fit somewhere between the 2 described above. Peering into the faces of ancient Egypt's rulers, we seek evidence for how people, power, and tradition interact. One might even attempt a psychology of the individual rulers themselves. In November 12, 1912, Sigmund Freud, founder of modern psychoanalysis, met in Munich with 5 of his colleagues to discuss the possibility of establishing a new journal for their growing field of study. During a luncheon, they turned their attention to an Egyptian ruler whose reign had just been the topic of an important study by Karl Abraham, a respected member of Freud's circle. Though Freud disagreed with Abraham's assessment of this ancient ruler as a neurotic, he was excited by the application of his new field of study to the problems of Egyptian history. Freud and Abraham agreed that the ancient ruler's animosity toward his royal father had influenced the erasure and destruction of many inscriptions, including those of the ruler's own.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.